Yes, people. So I've been on this journey a little minute now, this entrepreneurial journey, this trying to make a dollar journey. And you get these moments where you just wake up and you feel off. Like you're there, but you're not really there. Your mind's foggy, your energy's low. The fire you once had, you now feel is either fleeting or completely gone. And a lot of the time it's for no reason. Nothing happened. You just don't really feel like yourself, to be honest with you. And that part kind of messes with you, man. Because if something bad happened, at least you'd have a reason. At least you'd know why you feel this way. But instead, you just have this heavy feeling just sitting on your chest and voices in your head that's going, yo, what's the point? Yo, give up. Yo, this is never going to work. And then the easiest thing to do in those moments is exactly that. It's give up. It's nothing. It's to lay there, to scroll, to overthink, to tell yourself, yo, I'm just going to start tomorrow. But then when tomorrow comes, you find that you feel the same again. So what do? Do you just sit in the hope that the motivation just magically comes back, hoping that one day you'll wake up and everything will start to click again? But bro, if you start waiting to feel ready, you're never gonna be ready because you're gonna be waiting a long fucking time. And here's the truth, you don't need to feel good to move forward, you just need to move forward. And there's this massive lie that's told that about motivation. Everyone talks like motivation is some magical thing, that one day you're just gonna wake up, stretch, take a deep breath, and suddenly you feel like doing all the things you've been putting off, all the things you don't want to do. But let's be real, motivation is a myth. It's unreliable, it's fleeting, it comes and goes. And if you just let that dictate your actions, you're never going to be consistent. Because I'm sure you know this feeling. Some days you wake up hungry. Some days you feel like you can take on anything. Take on King Kong himself. And on other days, you wake up feeling like a shadow of yourself. You doubt everything. Shit that you used to be confident about now feels impossible. And what do you do on those days? Because on those days are what really matters. Those days are what really define you. Not how hard you work when you feel great, but how hard you push yourself when you feel nothing, when you feel dead inside. You need to show up anyway. You have to train yourself to move when your mind tells you not to. Even when you don't feel like it, even when every part of you is just screaming, yo, I'm just going to sit this one out. Because that version of you, the one that doesn't feel like showing up, this version doesn't get to make the decisions. You do. And I get it, some days are heavy. Some days even getting out of bed feels like a mission. But what if you just started small? Instead of thinking about everything you have to do today, just do one thing. Not because you feel like it, not because you are inspired, but because you said you would. And that's the real game, doing what you said you would, even when your feelings don't match your goals. Listen, you can't trust your feelings either. Give me a lot of things you can't do. But your feelings are tricky because they'll convince you that you're not good enough, that your work doesn't matter, that nobody cares. And in those moments, it feels real as hell, but feelings aren't facts. They're just temporary waves. And if you give them too much power, and if you let them decide what you do and don't do, you're going to spend your whole life waiting instead of actually building. Because here's the truth. Some of the best work you'll ever do, some of the most important decisions you'll ever make will happen on the days when you don't feel like doing shit, when you want to do fuck all. And momentum is everything, bro. Because even when you're stuck, when you feel lost, the worst thing you can do is sit still. I'm sure you've clocked that in your life before. The longer you wait, the harder it is to start. The more you think, the more reasons you find to do nothing, to procrastinate, to try to make things perfect, which is another word for procrastination in my book. But the second you take the first step, Even if it's small, even if it's ugly, even if it's nonsense and crap, everything starts to shift because you start moving in the right direction you want to actually go in. You don't have to go 100 miles an hour. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to move. And once you do, you start to notice, you start to remember who the fuck you are. Have you ever looked back at something you did, something hard and think, damn, I did that. I really did that. At that time you were struggling. You didn't see progress. You doubted yourself every step of the way, but you still showed up. And now you see what all those small steps added up to. That's how everything great is built. Not in one big moment of inspiration. Not because you felt like it every day, but because you pushed through even when you didn't feel like it. So yeah, you're going to have days where you don't feel yourself. You might feel slow. You might feel off. You might feel like nothing you do actually matters. But you don't wait for motivation. You don't wait for the perfect moment. You don't wait for a feeling to give permission for yourself to move. You move anyway. And eventually the feelings catch up. The fire comes back. And if you remember, you were never lost. You just needed to keep going. Now go.